And here we go, Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. Ermanni and Edwards, the bottom line. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Stan Edwards on a Tuesday. Braylon, good afternoon to you, my friend.
Good afternoon, buddy. Good afternoon, man. I came in feeling good. You know, it's Tuesday with Pop, so it's always a good time. So it's Maz's favorite day of the week. So I'm excited, man. Got a lot of good energy, man. I'm just going to ride this wave, man. I'm working on just being relaxed, being smooth. No arguments out of me today.
Stan, how about you?
Enough about me. There's so much coaching movement going on. Let's get into it.
All within the last couple of minutes, Tom Mazawey, as we get started here. Sean Payton has informed the New Orleans Saints that he is stepping away from football. He is stepping away from the Saints head coaching position. Look, Tom, you rumored this yesterday. You brought this up yesterday that he is a potential replacement for Troy Aikman on the Fox broadcast. There is interest from Fox to pair him up with Joe Buck as the number one play-by-play team.
He's got John Maddenitis. He's got whoever else, Bill Walshitis, guys that have burned out. Guys that have burned out of this job. And Stan, you can tell us more than anybody, you and Braylon, playing in the NFL. It ain't easy being a head coach.
Well, since you broke, I got to feel it. These guys, Ian Rappaport, and who's our guy from Michigan?
Adam Schefter.
Adam Schefter. These guys, they get bonuses when they break stories like this. And so where's your bonus? Because you were first, and I think you need to be compensated for that.
I appreciate that.
Well, even more news, Braylon. Jim Caldwell expected to be the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. The Bears today hired Ryan Poles, the Kansas City Chiefs assistant director of player personnel. Jim Caldwell is in the building for the second time today, and the belief is that he will get that job and be hired later today by the Chicago Bears. Coaching news all over the place.
Yeah, you know, I'll touch on both of them real quick. I think with the Jim Caldwell situation, everywhere he's gone, the players have loved him. When he was in Indianapolis, the players loved him. When he was here in Detroit, I mean, they can't stop saying good things about him, Dan Orlovsky's, etc. And then down in Florida, they loved him down there in Florida. Excuse me, not Florida, but Miami. They loved him down there with the Dolphins organization. So I think it's a good situation where you bring in a Jim Caldwell. They need some player camaraderie. They need players to lobby with their coach because the Matt Nagy situation left a lot of players feeling sour. He lost the locker room a long time ago, so I think it's a good hire in that case. Talk about Sean Payton. Sean Payton, the writing was on the wall that he was going to leave from the standpoint of even when they had one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Talking about Drew Brees, they couldn't win in the playoffs. They had so many letdowns in the playoffs, NFC Championship, second round of the playoffs. Now Drew Brees is gone. Now he has to deal with a season where he's like, is it Trevor Siemian? Is it Jameis Winston? Is it Taysom Hill? He don't feel like dealing with that. He got the hell out of there.
Well, I'll come back to Sean Payton and the New Orleans Saints in a second. Love to see that Jim Caldwell is getting back into the game. One of the most respected coaches and head coaches to coach over the past 15, 20 years. And Chicago's a unique franchise in a unique situation because it's always on the verge of look like it's ready to make a run, and it just hasn't made one lately. The greatest city in the world, in my opinion.
Second city.
So he's got an opportunity there to really galvanize the city around him. He has got to get his roster together, and hopefully he'll get the right offensive and defensive coordinators to make sure he can take Chicago in the future. On the New Orleans Saints front and Sean Payton. Sean Payton is a worker. He is a pit bull. He is a taskmaster. He is a schematic genius. I think he's probably just tired and he wants to rest. I don't see his coaching days being over. I think he's just going to take a hiatus, probably get a little cash, thinking up his coin from the other side of the microphone. But I see him coaching again probably within 5 years.
Do you accept the phone call that you know you're going to get from Jerry Jones?
He has to accept the call and see what the conference is, because accepting the call, what he does is make sure that he can up the offer. Yeah, I don't know that he would leave New Orleans this year and go straight to Dallas. That would be a very unique move. It would be a very exciting move. We'd have a ton to talk about.
How about the Raiders? Remember I said yesterday, they're the last team that traded a coach.
Yeah.
They traded, what's his name?
John Gruden.
John Gruden over to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
For draft picks. The Raiders don't have a coach right now. Jim Harbaugh, his name has been out there for how many weeks now? We're going to have Hondo Carpenter join us tomorrow. Nobody's on that story like him. It's gone viral again today. Jim Harbaugh's name is still out there again. As much as we want to say he's signing here in Ann Arbor, Man, there's a
And
lot
by
of
the way-
lot of good meat on the bone.
By the way, in that report from Hondo today, he does say there is a quote in there that says if Jim Harbaugh is offered that job, he will take it. That's an if he's offered that job. So there is so much coaching news to go around today. I don't even know where you want to go. But I think locally a lot of people here will look at the Jim Caldwell story. One, because he would become the first former Lions head coach to actually get another head coaching job after he left
Not in an
the Detroit
interim-
Lions,
not
in an interim
Right.
role. Also, he would play you twice a year.
Guess what? Karma's a you-know-what.
Jeez.
Karma is a you-know-what. They ushered him out of here. A lot of people didn't agree with it. Even if you did agree with it, you only agree with it because of the standpoint you're a Lions fan. He get a crack at the Lions twice a year. If he went 2-15, he wouldn't care as long as he beat the Lions.
That's his usual record, right?
Oh, by the way, he
against
gets-
winning teams. By the way.
He gets Khalil Mack next year. Khalil Mack will be the opposite side of Robert Quinn, who had 18 sacks this year. Oh man, it's tough.
Think about this. Matthew Stafford, we can talk about later, wins the Super Bowl, and then Chicago offers the Rams 3 first-round draft picks for Matthew Stafford to go to Chicago to rejoin Jim Caldwell. What that also would do for Jim Caldwell is have him have a great excuse for not having to play Justin Fields, because Justin Fields is not ready to be a big-time quarterback
Oh,
yet.
wow.
Well, there's another place we could go with it, because you look at this. There's only 32 jobs, right, in the National Football
And
League.
there's 8 of them open right now.
There's 32 jobs. There's 8 of them open, and if you are a coaching candidate, you're going to take the job that's offered to you. You're not going to say no because you think you can turn it around. But we talked about this yesterday. We'll talk about it again today. Josh Allen, Mac Jones, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert. Those are just the 6 quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yeah.
If you're a head coach, do you want that job in Denver? Do you want the job with the Raiders? Do you want the job with Miami? I mean, because I just listed off 6 coaches for you. I mean, if any coach in their right mind would want to go to the NFC right now.
Well, I would say this. I would take the Raiders job, because the Raiders job is intriguing because you have a quarterback there. Taking the Denver's job tantamounts to a money grab. That's all it is. Until they get John Elway out of the way, they're not going to have a good club. I don't know what it is. And I was under the impression that as much as John Elway has meant to the NFL, what he's done, what he's accomplished, he's going to make a great front office guy. And he hasn't. I don't know what that's about, but it's time to move on from him. But I don't think is it the Bolden family that still owns the team? I think they feel indebted to him, so he's going to be there for a while. So if I'm the coach and he's there, I'm not going to take that job.
They're going to have a new owner, by the way, soon.
Yeah, Denver's an enigma.
That's right. It is up for sale. Sorry about that.
Denver's definitely an enigma. You know, you look at John Elway brings in the sheriff and the defense, and he sets that team kind of in motion a little bit. They win the Super Bowl. They go to a Super Bowl. And even now, they have pieces. Like, you look at that defense, man. Patrick Surtain, the second. You look at the offense, look at the running back field. Like, they have pieces in play. But to Dad's point, there's something that will not allow them to connect those pieces fully and move forward to the playoffs.
Guys, Jim Caldwell, I went back and looked at, how he was ushered out here in Detroit. And however you want to feel about it, he was 36-28 in 4 seasons with the Lions, 2 playoff appearances, 32-5 against teams under 500, 4-23 against teams above 500. Last season, 9-7. 1-7 against teams above 500. They had a hell of a schedule that year. A 2-game lead in the division with 3 games to play.
That's the killer.
And didn't even make the playoffs.
So, didn't we recite almost those exact same stats for one Matthew Stafford before he got out of here?
Yes, we did.
And what happened?
And that's exactly what happened. He's in the NFC Championship game right now. He is looking good. So
it's the curse of Detroit, man.
Let's stick there. Let's stick there, Stan.
All right.
What is it about Detroit? Because I couldn't help but watch Matthew Stafford completely, really, 4 touchdown passes, no interceptions, throwing the ball all over the place against Tampa, and didn't have to do so much in the wild card game. But 2 playoff wins. Why couldn't that happen here?
I'm going to go way in left field now, and I'm not going to contradict myself. I think you got owners and general managers who really don't know anything about football, and they're subjective to a great sales pitch, and they fall for it. I mean, when I say that, I don't think every general manager needs to be a former player. We just talked about John Elway, and it's not making sense. But I think you do need a team of people around you, the owner, along with the general manager, consulting with who's coming in, what kind of scheme they're going to run, who are their assistants they're bringing in, and what is their relation. Because some guys go in and, like I said, we've said it a million times here, coaches come in, I got to go down with my people. Well, your defensive coordinator might not be the best guy available, particularly for the roster that we have. The same with the offensive coordinator. So too many times, owners and general managers get hoodwinked on names and value, and they don't know how to really pick the appropriate team as well as the appropriate general manager to draft the right people for that staff. So the Lions have not gotten it right over and over and over again. I can help them, I think. There's a number of people who can help them, we think, but they're closed. They have a small circle, and they listen to a few people. Some people have a small circle of good people that can give them the right information. But some owners got circles so small, they can't see outside that, and they don't want to let anybody in. Hence, you get the results that you've been getting.
We're going to pick this conversation up. Braylon, hold that thought. We're going to talk about Matthew Stafford. I want to get some thoughts on Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians. Are Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady done? We're going to hit on a lot of football today, gang. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes? Touchdown! What a play! Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet, the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey guys, I want to tell you about Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. That's right, this place is wicked awesome and so simple and fun and friendly and handsome. Ooh-wee, that's right. Walk into Lady Jane's, sign in, sit down. Before you know it, you are handsome and clean. Ooh-wee. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Man, before we went to that break, Dad was talking about Matt Stafford. You asked the question about Matt Stafford. Why is it that he's having that type of level of success out with the Rams? And, Dad's 100% right. I'm going to add a little bit to that, and I'm going to add what I think about and actually what I said yesterday. To add to what Dad said, it's Stan Kroenke. Stan Kroenke was the owner of the Rams. He's the owner of the Denver Nuggets. He's been doing this for years. He's not only a businessman, made all his money in real estate. He's married to a wall, by the way. He's talking about a lot of money here. He's married to the wall that inherited the most. I think she's like $36 billion. Everybody else is like 32. Not that that's a big difference.
Ooh-wee.
But no, he's been there with George Karl and the Nuggets. And yes, they didn't win the NBA championship, but he's been there for years. They had success at the highest level for years. They were floating around the Western Conference Finals for years. You insert the Rams taking that team to LA. They won the Super Bowl under Kurt Warner. He was there for that. He implemented that. Also, they went to the Super Bowl again under Sean McVay. So he knows how sports works. He knows GMs. He knows how to get the right people for the right job. So that adds to that. As it relates to Matt Stafford, it's a different situation because it's a level of maturity as well as what Sean McVay is putting on his hands and the players that are around him versus when he was here. You look at where Aaron Donald is, and you can argue, say, well, he had Ndamukong Suh. Yeah, Ndamukong Suh was drafted in 2010, I do believe, 10 or 11. Like, Aaron Donald right now, who he's playing with, is arguably the best defensive player of all time. I say arguably because he still has some work to go to be over Reggie White, Lawrence Taylor to me. But he's the most dominant force on the defense. You add Von Miller. Von Miller's the guy that's playing repossessed, reinvigorated, like new fuel energy. Odell Beckham, like you look at Cooper Kupp. So what they're playing with now, what he's playing around, he doesn't have to do that much. And Matthew Stafford is mature enough now where he can understand that. You know what? I don't have to go out there and try to make the raging Cajun throws that I did at Georgia. I don't have to try to make those throws that I did at Detroit, trying to put all the onus on me because all the blame and everything isn't on Matthew Stafford anymore. There's a team around him that is experienced enough, gold jacket soon to be worn enough, all pro every year, where he can put himself in a situation, I can sit back and relax. I don't have to do too much.
I don't want to oversimplify building a championship franchise and culture in any sport is easy. Don't want to oversimplify that. When you have that kind of money, it's risk by opening yourself up to too many people, because a lot of people there are there for the wrong reason. And so as a billionaire owner, you have to be very strategic about who you align yourself with to help build your program. The same way you did when you were building your fortune, assuming it wasn't inherited. So I get why some people continue to make the same mistake, but at some point you got to start looking outside of your small circle and be very strategic and be very careful, but bring in the right folk to help you change the course of your franchise.
As that game was going on, was there any doubt in your mind that Brady and the Bucs were going to come back and win it?
Not at all. You knew they were coming back. Yeah. You knew they were. It's just a matter of time. It was written in the script. It had to be.
Speaking of scripts, it's a perfect time to talk about this. There were two storylines in the Rams-Bucs game, right? And they don't have to battle each other. And I think that's the point where people have a problem with the storyline, is if you say one story, you're making an excuse for the other story. There were two storylines in that game. One, Matthew Stafford did everything he was asked to do. He did everything right. He won them that game on that last pass to Cooper Kupp. I don't care what people say. If he doesn't complete that pass in which they kick the field goal and win it, it's going to overtime. And guess who's going to win that game in overtime? It's Tom B. This is another comeback. That's one storyline. He did everything right as Matt Stafford in that game. He played a damn good game. Give him his credit. Now, to the other storyline, Tom Brady would have won that game if he would have had either Godwin or AB, who left him hanging. We can get into that too. He could have had either one of them. Tristan Wirfs, second-year player, all pro, right tackle, amazing player. He gets hurt. His backup comes in and gets hurt. They're rotating centers, rotating linemen. It got to the point where you can see Tom Brady look like I've never seen him look before. He was dropping back. Hold on, Dad.
He was scared.
He was driving back. Not only he was short arm and stuff. He was blind throwing stuff. There was a pass on the drive before they scored. I want to say it was the drive after. It was a drive before, because they had two drives in a row which they didn't score, and then they scored because they were down 7. They had two drives, didn't score, and then they scored on the third one. It was the first time that they did it. The drive before the personal foul that we thought was going to be give them a first down. It ended up being a dead ball foul. He had Scotty Miller wide open in the middle of the field on 4th down. Yeah. And he couldn't see him. He didn't want to see him because he was so corralled, and he had been doing this. When have you ever seen Tom Brady in a clutch moment miss a wide open wide receiver? I certainly have never seen it. That in itself, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would have beat the Rams. The Rams wanted to give them that game, and I understand it's a part of football. Injuries do happen. Things do happen. But, man, if he would have had one of those, if you get Tristan Wirfs, Tampa wins. Antonio Brown, they win. Godwin, they win. So, two storylines. One, Stafford did everything he was supposed to do and more. They won the game. The other one was injuries really, really played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially Tom Brady.
Well, here's another thing interesting about Matthew Stafford. In the last 4 to 6 games, you have not seen the Detroit Lion Matthew Stafford at all. Early in the season, you did. Matthew Stafford has learned that he does not have to win the game and make throws that he shouldn't have been making. In the last few weeks, he's been making very smart decisions.
Is that coach? Is that culture? What is that?
I think it's all of that. Yeah. I think he realized early in the year as a Ram, he was doing some things that you saw done here at Ford Field. He's still doing it, but they may have a team that will come in. But he finally settled into, I don't have to make that throw. I can throw this out of bounds and take the sack and live for another day because my defense is going to give me the ball back without them scoring, or at least holding them to a field goal. And now he doesn't make the throws that made us all kind of cringe when he's here at Detroit. Tom Brady would have, to your point, I think, would have had an opportunity to come back in the game, but they don't have a defense. They don't have the pass rush. And I have been a fan of having Todd Bowles get another head coaching job. But his performance as a defensive coordinator in that game bordered atrocious. What he did late in that game is he did a slot blitz off the slot, off of Cooper Kupp, and he put Antoine Winfield Jr., who's a safety, covering the best wide receiver in the game.
Second-year safety at that.
One-on-one.
How does that happen?
Do that. I have no idea. That is crazy.
And conversely, if you want to look at defensive coordinators, how does Leslie Frazier allow it to happen in 13 seconds too for the Bills?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The Bills rushed 4 guys, but the 4th guy on the left side of the line was standing like behind the 3 defensive linemen. So he didn't even. I watched the game again last night. So
you're sick,
I'm
Maz.
sick. He on those 2 plays in those 13 seconds, he wasted a guy doing nothing.
Right.
In that defense, he played him almost off the line like a linebacker, but he didn't do anything. I saw him. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Instead of putting him back in the middle of the field where they hit Kelsey and Hill. The whole freaking middle of the field was wide open.
Wow.
I got a question, Dan. You know, it lines up to, you talked about Stafford in terms of like the last couple of weeks. Last couple of weeks he's been phenomenal in terms of exactly what you said. He's definitely he's just sat in there and been himself. He's like, hey, you know what? I don't have to go. I got Cam Akers. I got Odell Beckham. I have Cooper Kupp. I have a great defense on the other side where I have great defensive players, a pretty good defense. So he's done that. But if you remember December, he had 5 interceptions. He had 8 interceptions in December. He had 4 pick sixes in December.
He had a horrible
and
end of
even
the
the
year.
last game of the season, he throws an interception at the end of the game to let the 49ers get into the playoffs. Maybe they had a conversation about that. To your point, the question I want to ask you, do you think him and Josh McVay had a conversation at the last game of the year after the San Francisco game? Because it seems like he turned into a completely different player in the playoffs from where he was in December. Going into the playoffs, I guarantee you the Rams were scared. Josh McVay or Sean McVay might have been a little bit scared. Stafford himself probably was like, damn, am I going to do the Stafford special?
He slowed him down.
I guarantee you him and Sean had one of those Cabo talks over a glass of bourbon because he looked completely different 1 week later.
Yeah, he did. So I can't. I'm probably the biggest Stafford fan, not named Stafford. I'm huge. I love the guy.
He's got you beat.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
I will wrestle him over who's the bigger Stafford fan. I will wrestle him for that title.
I love it.
But Matthew Stafford has not shown any of us that he has it within himself to kind of rein himself in and not make those throws and become a different guy in a matter of weeks in the playoffs. So it's got to be Sean McVay.
Yeah.
It's got to be the culture he's around and the coach he's around. Sean McVay is again another young guy in an old body. Sean McVay is a pretty mature guy on how he handles the media, on how he handles his team. If he didn't know what he was doing, there are a lot of things that would come out about this team in the media and in the public that it hasn't been. So that's because Sean McVay really has a good culture in place. Yeah. People trust him, and Matt Stafford trusted him to kind of listen what it is, and that's why Matt has been a different quarterback in the playoffs.
And the last thing I say, Ryan, is you're 100% right, because there was a play when they played the opening round of the playoffs. There was a play where I've talked about it, and I said, you know what? Oh, shoot. Here comes the Matt Stafford of old. It was a play in which it was in the third quarter, took the snap, and he pulled a move like he was Kyler Murray. Yeah, he thought he was Russell Wilson early in his career. He did a reverse spin move. As soon as I saw that reverse spin move, I said, I've never seen Matthew Stafford do a reverse spin move. I said, here it comes. This is what Detroit fans are waiting for. This is what they're waiting to see. This is why they were okay with him leaving. And he reversed out of there and threw the ball away. I said, somebody been talking to this boy. Ain't the same guy I know.
The Matthew Stafford critics here in town, they have one more opportunity to say, see, I told you so, and that's this upcoming week. If he gets to the Super Bowl, he's out of the woods.
Ian Rappaport reporting that the Saints will interview Dennis Allen, considering to be the leading candidate, and Lions DC Aaron Glenn for their head coaching position.
He's Allen's from where?
He's there.
He's
their OC.
Yeah. All right.
That's where they'll go.
Aaron Glenn, of course, formerly on the staff there in New Orleans under Sean.
So is Dan Campbell.
Peyton. So is Dan Campbell.
Sean Payton will make a hell of an OC in Detroit.
Yeah, he will.
He wants to take it easy.
Guys, the game was so good. Maz watched it again yesterday, and he watched it again, still hoping that Josh Allen got a chance with the ball in overtime. He did not. We're going to talk to Stan about his overtime thoughts. Also, Sean McDermott with some really, really great quotes today on that loss. 13 seconds that he will never forget. I'm going to read those for you and get Stan's thoughts on overtime A lot of viewers in that game. 51 million viewers at peak that. Unbelievable.
Most ever, right, Max?
That's it.
For a divisional game in the last 5 years.
Yeah, okay.
Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
The sports marketing agency. I'm very, very fond of the sports marketing agency and Sean Jordan. SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health, substance abuse. With help of the NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take the stand against these issues. Soon coming to Woodward Sports, the marketing agency podcast. That's right. It's called the F Word series, and the F word is fentanyl. Fentanyl is something that is tearing the community up as it relates to drug overdoses and drug abuse. If you're struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they are here to help. Go to thesportsma.com. That is thesportsma.com. Sean is a close friend of mine. He's a great guy, and trust me, this stuff works. So pay attention. If you need help, it is there for you. Thesportsma.com.
Just a quick news update. Ward Manuel, Michigan athletic director, has been added to the college football playoff selection committee. So
finally, we'll get it right.
Yeah, he'll be in the 13-member group.
Dear friend, very smart man.
Absolutely. Guys, I want to just
How
read.
does that work, by the way?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's like,
They talk about the 4 best teams.
I guess
Come up with some rankings.
I give you a break.
Let me just read some quotes from you from Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, thinking about that last 13 seconds and then into overtime of a 42-36 loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's what he said. I watched it on video, and I watched it over and over in my head 1,000,000 times, in my stomach 1,000,000 more. It's my livelihood, and I'm super competitive as well. I want the best for our football team and this organization and our fans, quite honestly. So I'll continue to watch it in my mind, and it'll be in my gut for years. But when we're trying to get to where we're trying to get to, I believe that it'll make us it'll make that moment much more enjoyable. Guys, how do you, just as a broad view of this, how do you come back from a loss like that?
Well, first of all, Sean McDermott is the poster child for hiring someone, turning a culture around, and building a consistent winner program. Follow his model and the way he did it, and you'll find a good good coach for your system. Here's what's interesting about the timeout in the NFL. Braylon and I argue, and I say the NFL organization and National Football League football games are the most popular sport on the face of the planet Earth. He says it's soccer. I don't care about that. But here's what I will say. As popular as they are, how can they continue to get this overtime thing wrong and still survive? Because this makes no sense. You win a coin toss and kick a field goal, it's over. That's not a game. That's gambling. That's what that is. And it's a heads or tails, that's gambling. And so National League football games are being decided based off of gambling, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Let's
put up the tweets if we could. You got, just let me show you this
go ahead.
Regarding the NFL overtime records, if we have that. So this is the overtime playoff games.
Duh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of the last 11 overtime playoff games since the new rules were instituted about a decade ago, where if you score a touchdown on the opening possession, you win the game. If you kick a field goal, you keep going, yada, yada. The rules are what the rules are. But 10 of the last 11 overtime playoff games, the winner of the coin toss has won the football game.
That's not right. That's not right.
Interesting to me.
What I will say to that is, let me start back with Sean McDermott. 13 seconds. These are things you can do in 13 seconds, right? 100-meter dash. Update Facebook. Send a text message. Download an app. Buy it now on eBay. Down a pint. Solve the Rubik's Cube. Don't worry, I've seen somebody solve the Rubik's Cube in 5 seconds. Sam, I know you've seen it too. 5
Ask
seconds.
my wife what else you could do in 13 seconds.
It's not good for the X chromosome. I tell you that. Not good for the rep. Not good for the reputation. And you know what? The next thing I was gonna say was make a first impression. 13 seconds isn't a good first impression. Apparently.
I'm playing. I hope she's
No,
not
but
watching.
these are things that you can do in 13 seconds. Drive the ball 45 yards on the number one defense isn't one of them. It's not one of them, or it shouldn't be one, no matter who the quarterback is. Now, getting into the overtime scenario, Maz and I had a little bit of a back and forth yesterday. I definitely am for both teams getting an opportunity in overtime. I had to go back, look at the situations. I am definitely in favor of both teams getting a chance. In every other sport, you get an opportunity in the playoffs to get your day in court. As they say, you get your day in court in every other sport, so you should get it in football. My only issue is this. Don't make excuses for the Chiefs. I mean, not the Chiefs, for the Buffalo Bills for ruining 13 seconds, in which they shouldn't have allowed that 13 seconds to get down in that position, to get that field goal, to go to overtime. And also don't make excuses for the 28-3 Atlanta Falcons. Don't make excuses for that. Now, in overtime, they both should get their day in the court, and I back up off that stance because everyone should get a chance. They do it in other sports. It should be that way.
It's a 60-minute game. But when the overtime starts, it's a brand new game.
Yeah.
So what you did in those 60 minutes, it shouldn't matter. Atlanta, in a Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year, should have had another chance to get the ball, regardless of how they peed down their leg.
Yeah.
Regardless. In the Super Bowl, you're not going to get a chance. And then the Bills, put up that stat of the Bills that I gave you late there, Alex. I want you to read this up. Check this stuff out.
So the stat is from CBS Sports. It really is crazy that the Bills had a quarterback throw for 327 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, had a receiver go for 201 yards and 4 touchdowns, went 4 for 4 on 4th down, committed 0 turnovers, took the lead twice in the final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter, and somehow lost.
They should have had a chance to at least score a touchdown, which they would have, because neither team was stopping anyone.
Well, here's the power of the coin toss.
Here's the kicker. Sean McDermott would have went for 2 once he got that touchdown, because he knows he ain't giving the ball back to Kansas City because they're going to score again. So the team that if you got 2 weary defenses and you both score a touchdown, that second guy better go for 2.
I was surprised, and we talked about this yesterday. I was surprised that Bruce Arians didn't go for 2.
Me too.
I was surprised Bruce Arians
The
didn't go for 2.
Rams were a mess.
I
They
would
would have scored 2 easy.
I would have went for 2, got it over, and got everybody healthy.
Yep.
Do you know what this feels like? Can you imagine in basketball? They do a coin toss at the center court, and the team who wins the coin toss gets a chance to shoot 2 free throws. And if they sink the free throws, the game's over.
If you sink both, it's over. If
It's
you
over,
one
yeah.
out of 2, then the other team gets
That's
a
how
chance.
this feels.
Or
That's
I guess
not
it'd be equivalent of something just to take a different variation of that. To flip a coin, Pistons get first possession, and if they score a basket, it's over.
Exactly.
You know, I mean,
just doesn't feel
the
right.
reason that felt so unsettling is because there were 51 million viewers watching that game.
Yeah.
And the only thing we were talking about, most of us anyway, after the game, in the immediacy of the game, was it's over? How does it end like that? And not only that, but if the Bills won that coin toss, they'd have been in the AFC Championship game based on those rules too.
But that happened to Kansas. That happened to Kansas City 2 years ago.
2019.
The
Put
Chiefs
that
happened
stat
to Kansas
up there.
City 2 years ago, playing the
They
Patriots.
tried to get the rule changed.
The
in
Chiefs were not
2019.
going to stop them either.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk now that they're going to revisit this in the offseason with the rules and everything, but it took this game for them now to revisit the rules. This was coming anyway. You knew it was coming sooner or later.
It's coming for your favorite team next.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, it is.
The
It's coming.
But the NFL is late to things. We know that. Just like how this rule got implemented was the Vikings and Saints. It
Yep.
was Brett Favre
Favre
game
throwing that bad pick.
because Favre didn't get a chance in overtime. And he threw the pick. They didn't get a chance to kick the field goal, and the game was over. So it took them that long to get at least both teams to get an opportunity. And now here we are 10 years later. So I mean, they will get it fixed because you got 50 million people that are making a stink.
By the way, 9 NFL jobs are open now. 9.
That's
9.
incredible. That's more than a quarter of
Yeah,
the
let me read
league.
the teams to you.
Well, if you do that, Maz, pick up on that because, I feel like, and we talked about this about a week ago, last year there were 16 quarterbacks that began 2021 16 teams began 2021 with a different starting quarterback than in 2020. I almost feel like coaches are becoming like that now. I mean, you're sitting on 9. Next year, you're probably going to have 12 openings, right? And then who knows after that?
It's the Bears, the Broncos, the Dolphins, Giants, Jaguars, Raiders, Saints, Texans, Vikings, all with openings now.
And it looks like Jim Caldwell will be the first off the list and go
Maybe.
to the Chicago Bears.
Maybe.
He's in the building today, and many people fully expect him to get that job with Ryan Poles, the Chiefs Director of Player Personnel.
How about the Bears going from Ryan Pace to Ryan Poles? They kept the RP and their GM.
Right. Hey, guys, let's stay in the NFC, in the division of sorts. I want to ask you about Aaron Rodgers. And Tom
Really?
Brady. But Aaron Rodgers, how would you characterize his career? 1 Super Bowl championship, and just the way he lost to San Francisco the other night. Is he gone? And is Tom Brady gone? Tom Brady talking like a player that is accepting that maybe, just maybe, this may be the end.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you about Tom.
We'll do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes? Touchdown! What a play! Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet. The Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, gang, it's Maz from MyBookie.ag. If you're a first-time sports gambler, you are in the right place, because if you use the promo code Woodward, MyBookie will double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Bet the NBA and NHL every night of the week, and, of course, the AFC, NFC championships coming up this weekend. Can't beat that. Then the Super Bowl 2 weeks after that. So lots of good football remaining, and the college bowl games are still going. All of the senior bowls and all the all-star games underway this weekend. Get them all bet right now at mybookie.ag, mybookie.com. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Use that promo code Woodward. Double your first deposit all the way up to $1,000. If you have a problem gambling, call the Michigan Gambling Hotline, 1-800-270-7117.
How's everybody doing today? Yes! Tuesdays with Stan. Guys, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady. Start with Aaron Rodgers, if we could. How would you characterize his career in Green Bay, and if you believe it's over?
Okay, so let me take a step back prior to our break. I want to talk about all the coaches' jobs available.
Absolutely. Feel free.
Who has the second pick in the draft?
The Detroit Lions.
And the Detroit Lions were the talk of the league on how hard they played every week, which is why Dan Campbell is still the coach there and should be there another 2 years. Who has the first pick in the draft?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
And they were garbage.
Yep.
But they were the only team that were garbage throughout the entire league. This was a really good season. There were a lot of competitive games and a lot of competitive teams. And we have 9 positions open. And who's going to sponsor Thursday Night Football?
Amazon.
We're coming into a society and a time where everything is right now. It's got to be right now. You got to change. It's got to be right now. And you got to change. Everything is got to happen quick. There should not be 9 jobs open in the NFL today. There should not be. Maybe 4, maybe. But this was a good football season for the NFL, and a lot of these coaches should not have gotten fired.
Braylon, everybody's trying to get it quick.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Harbaugh at University of Michigan is the last example of staying in the course. Like, everything outside of that, man, like, nobody stays the course anymore. Everything is now. Oh, you can't get it done now? You're gone as a quarterback. You can't get it now? You're gone as a coach.
Maybe.
You're gone as a GM. You're gone as, like, the only people you can't fire are owners. Because believe me, we're getting close to being able to fire them too. You know, look at decision. Like, so.
Promise.
But to answer your initial question when we started this segment, man, Aaron Rodgers, I'm looking for the right word. So maybe I'll just start.
Underachieving.
And that's why I say I'm looking for the right word, because even that word, it feels wrong, even though it's so right. It's so right. And I say it from this standpoint. He's going to win the MVP, although I think Tom should win it. But let's just say he's going to win it, which he is.
But who cares, right?
Yeah, exactly. At this point, they're both out the playoffs anyway. 4 MVPs, 1 Super Bowl appearance, 1 Super Bowl win. Like, in the playoff, like, for someone that is touted, like, and this is coming from the high-ups, the higher GMs, higher sports minds, higher, just period. Best thrower of the football ever, most talented quarterback ever, best regular season quarterback ever, yada, 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 yada. So for 17 years with Green Bay, as you've been touted this now for probably about the last 8, by the last 7, 8, like you've carried that title. That's not enough. Like, it's not enough. And I know that the Super Bowl is tough to get to, right? It's extremely tough. If you told me that in his 17 years he had 3 appearances and 1 win, but he did everything he did in the regular season, it's very different. I say, you know what? It is tough to get there, so I will give you that. You're still blah, blah, blah. But to be there, he's played in 21 playoff games. He's been in the NFC Championship game, 7 times? 9 times? He's won 1, or he's been 6 times. He's 1 and 6. He's
1 and 5.
He's 1 and 5.
Losing record at Lambeau in the playoffs.
Losing record at Lambeau in the playoffs, as you had home field advantage. It's just so many things so wrong about this in terms of his legacy. He's done a ton of great things in the regular season, but that playoff, man, and if he didn't have a Super Bowl win, it would be. What's the difference between him and Phillip Rivers?
Right.
If you're being honest.
Yeah. So for me, can you guys see me?
Oh, you look good.
Kyrie Irving, Aaron Rodgers. Those are 2 different cats.
Ooh.
They walk to a different drum. I don't know that we'll see the real Aaron Rodgers unless he goes to another team. He doesn't care what people think about him. And sometimes it feels like he doesn't care if he wins. He cares about how he plays. But it's more important for him to be him. He has got a little Kyrie Irving. He's got a little Antonio Brown. He's got a little of a lot of people who always want to turn right because everybody else is turning left.
Matt, you said that yesterday about he just looked like he was
adamant.
in the
It
clouds.
looks like it just looks like you ever when you fight with your wife or your girlfriend and you come to work and your head's in the clouds. You're not your right guy. That's what he looked like on Saturday.
Matt said that.
On Saturday night. Yeah. He did not look like Aaron Rodgers to me.
Matt said that on Monday, and I had to go back and take a look at it, and I was like, he's right. And then I sent to the group chat, I sent a tweet that Dick Buckets, first of all, if you're looking for a good follow, go follow Dick Buckets. Him and the Iron Sheik. Those are 2
Iron Sheik is great, man.
Those are 2 great
follows. Only been on for a week.
He's
got
oh my God.
people
and he said something, and I also love that he cusses people like he'll go after you, but he said something exactly like Matt said.
That's what old guys do.
He said, yeah, they will. They don't care. They don't care. Aaron's actually, like you said, trapped to the young man's body. He was older. He said it was something not there about Aaron Rodgers. Exactly what Maz told me before I read this comment. He said it was in his eyes. He was lost in the stars and lost in the clouds. He wasn't at Lambeau. He was somewhere else.
So was Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
Because he called a horrible game.
Yeah,
and to have 10 players on the field at the end of a game that you're falling apart against, I don't know what the hell. What the hell happened to them?
They're like twin brothers.
Because the 49ers are not better than the Packers.
But that's what happens when you hire play callers to be head coaches.
Yep.
You know, they're not. That thing should have been fixed a season ago.
You think Bill Parcells would have let that happen?
No, he wouldn't have let it happen. 10 guys on the field in the
Horrible.
game-winning kick.
And this is not fair because I think that's who Kellen Moore could be as a head coach.
Absolutely.
I think who he could be. I don't want to take it from he's a great play caller, but there's something about he doesn't do a lot of interviews. We don't quite know who he is as a person, so that's not fair. But it feels like he would be a great head coordinator.
Right. Well, that's what my guy that I listen to and follow, Michael Lombardi, formerly of the
waiting for
Patriots, but that's what he said.
We got the over/under.
Yeah, I know,
Lombardi's
but
going to get mentioned.
It's so smart too because you look at the way coaches are being hired these days. They're hiring play callers.
Right.
Cliff Kingsbury, Matt LaFleur, the guy in Cincinnati. I mean, it's fine.
Zach Taylor, Brandon Staley.
Brandon Staley. I mean, these are play callers. callers. These are not head coaches to where you have a problem with the defense and your head coach goes across the side there and goes and coaches that up. Or you got the worst special teams unit in the league in Green Bay, and you still got 10 guys out there in a playoff game. I mean, the head coach fixes that stuff. You're hiring play callers. Thankfully, if this happens, Jim Caldwell, you've got a head coach actually getting hired in the NFL.
His in-game coaching wasn't great.
You know,
Jim Caldwell.
The one play caller I think that you can hire who I think might work out as a head coach, he failed his first time, but there's something about him because when you get up in Tom Brady's face and fight with him, then you got to put him. I think Josh McDaniel, who's a play caller, might be an okay head coach as he gets older because when I saw him go after Tom Brady one time, that told me that, hey, listen, I'm here to do a job, buddy, and you need to do that. And those guys are good friends on the same page. Speaking of which, because you mentioned Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, and as you go through concussion protocol, Maz, and I remembered all that, you have no idea how proud I am that I did that. Tom Brady has got to decide what his legacy wants to be. Is he okay with leaving football in his last 2 years not getting to the Super Bowl? Because that's very well what could happen if he comes back for another year.
I love what Braylon told me in the back office. We all do this. We do this.
Here's the question. Can I ask my question that I asked to him?
Please do.
Here's the question I asked
This got
to
me
Braylon.
excited.
And his answer was on point. We're going to try to recreate it on the air. Is there a situation where you could envision Tom Brady leaving Tampa Bay but still wanting to play in the NFL? Which team would that be? And could you envision Brady continuing his career? We'll have that answer next.
No, I'm not going to answer it.
No.
Do you? I'm not going to. I love the setup. Do you also want me to say, do I think he's going to retire or not, and give that answer as well?
I want you to give it all to me. I want you to give it all to me.
I'll try to do what I can.
Plop your knowledge on the table. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. The bottom line. Pause.
Pause.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Names, bigger opinions. It's the bottom line on Woodward Sports.
Citron World is an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line with sparkling flavor, energy beverages, premium bottled water, and revitalizer shots. Citron is fashionable. Fashionable, ladies and gentlemen. Functional and fun. It's the 3 Fs. Fashionable, functional, and fun. Check out their stylish brand design with unique crown and their cool bottle designs. You know I'm all about the cool bottle designs. And actually, I switched up this morning on the revitalizer shots from the turmeric pineapple. I went to the green tea and ginseng. That's why I had this good energy about me right now. If you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, guess what? Citron is your choice. Buy online at citronworld.com. The promo code is RedWings10. You know D-Mac's going to love that. Save 10% with shipping included. Drink it, live it, Citron.
All right, so here's the question. Do you see a scenario in which Tom Brady still plays in the NFL, but just not in Tampa Bay? Braylon?
Yes, I do. There's only one particular situation he's talked about this year, so this isn't any stat or fact or hot take that you may not have heard before, but I just came in with it today. San Fran. San Fran's the place. He loved San Fran growing up. He idolized Joe Montana as well as Steve Young. He's from that area. They're in a situation now where they have 2 quarterbacks. They got one guy that didn't play this year due to injury, and you got one guy that everybody has been an enigma since he was with Tom Brady. He's been this enigma. He's playing well. Well, he played, with the exception of his last game. You're going to move him because Trey Lance is going to be your guy, but you're still unsure about Trey Lance. Bring in Tom. Get what you can for Jimmy G. Maybe it's a shift and swap type situation. Maybe send him to Tampa. I don't know how that works. Bring Tom in to the 49ers. He would stay 1 year to play there. And you have Trey Lance learn under the GOAT for 1 year. That would be the situation that he stays. That would be the only one I see. What do I think he's going to do? He's going to retire if that situation doesn't present itself. I'll tell you why. We were so blind to Tom Brady thinking he could play forever, wanted to play forever, that we didn't look at the things that are right in front of our face. I watched the interview last night on his podcast. He said, I don't want a farewell tour. This came from him. I don't want a farewell tour, all right? Also said he wanted to play till he was 45. He's 44. The 45 was a distraction. It was to make you thinking about 45, to make you not thinking about him retired all this season, because you know 45 will be next year. This was a farewell tour. He talked about not wanting a farewell tour. What was a documentary that came out during COVID that we all were enamored by?
Man in the Arena.
No, not that. What they called The Last Dance? Didn't somebody come out with a Last Dance type documentary called Man in the Arena this year that was on streaming on ESPN Plus the whole season while Tom Brady was on this? I'm telling you, this was going to be a farewell tour. He was legitimately thinking that they were going to win the Super Bowl. He was going to ride off into the sunset like Jerome Bettis. They had the man in the arena. Why did that come out this year? He announced 45 as a distraction away from him being 44 this year. Something is going on behind closed doors in Tampa, and Tampa is a boiling pot. It's about to blow up. From Bruce Arians punching players to AB and what he did, and the defense didn't play as well as they could. This secondary and some injuries. I get it. Something is going on. Tom doesn't want to be a part of. This was going to be a farewell tour, because now all of a sudden it's, well, my family and Giselle and the kids are getting older, and if they want me to retire, all that was the same 8 months ago. You thought that you were going to win, which I don't have a problem with. He thought it was going to be perfect. He set it up perfect. The players let him down in terms of the injuries.
To me, he still went out on top.
I agree.
He tied that game.
127 yards in fourth quarter alone.
He did what he was supposed to do in that game. He got Tampa to where they were, and if they don't blow that coverage, they go to overtime and win that game.
Well, I think I never thought about that. I have two places where I think he probably would go if he would continue to play. I never thought about the San Francisco 49er being from the Bay Area. He might want to go to San Francisco because he doesn't like Jimmy Garoppolo as it is anyway. And so he would like to kick his butt, because I'm sure Giselle told him how cute Jimmy is, Garoppolo is.
She did.
So he wants to kind of kick him in the behind one more time. My two places I think he would go would be a little bit further south, going down to the Chargers. Gilbert is good. He's not that good. Herbert is good. He's not Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, young good. He's not that good. He's okay. But that puts him right next to LeBron and Giselle right in SoCal and Los Angeles, and he can do things there. But you know where I think he would go? To the New York Jets. Madison Square, Tom Brady. Madison Avenue, Tom might end up on Wall Street.
Well,
the Jets?
Yeah. I mean, that's not.
Jesus can't say
it's not a bad thought. I just don't know what kind of talent they have at wide receiver, though. Either
I can answer that question for you right
now.
No.
He will bring his talent with him.
Close your eyes. What do you see?
He would bring his talent with him, and one of them would be Antonio Brown.
A blank screen.
Speaking of quarterbacks, and I want Stan's perspective on this. We can continue on with this too, but running out of the top of the hour here. Report today in the New York Post from a Dolphins player who says, quote, about Tua Tagovailoa, he's wasting my career. He can't make every throw. An unnamed prominent member of the Miami defense told South Florida Sun Sentinel, he's only going to take us so far. I'm wasting my career here if that's what we're doing. So a defensive player, a prominent defensive player, saying this about Tua Tagovailoa.
And when you read
Miami.
the column, when you read it, they go into further detail about Brian Flores and how he says, I can't win with this guy. And the owner said, all right, then you're out of here. And that's why Brian Flores is on the breadline.
Yeah, well.
Do you have a problem with this, Dad? Somebody saying this? Yeah. That's, okay.
No. With him saying it? No, I don't. I don't know how you draft Tua anyway. He was not that good. He's short. He squats down to release the ball, which makes him shorter, and he had an injury that nobody even thought he would come back from. Good. I'm so glad the kid overcame some things to do that, but he was never going to be a good quarterback in the NFL because those skills never presented themselves. So I don't know why anybody thought, did they sell jerseys? Is that what it was about? I wasn't sure why he was even drafted there. So when you become the coach that has to inherit a quarterback that can't win you games, they won 8 or 9 games in spite of, he's okay. He's not garbage and horrible, but at that pick, he was not that value, and I can see how Brian Flores and this unnamed player have an issue with playing with him.
This unnamed player, it's not hard. This is Xavier Rhodes. Let's call it spade a spade. Xavier Rhodes has been an outspoken player. He's a Pro Bowl consistent player. He's an all-pro level player. He plays cornerback positions. Who are they most critical of? The quarterback position. Like, we know it's him, obviously. I'm speculating, but I would go for him. I don't have a problem with him thinking this and saying that to some of his homeboys on the team or something like that, but you don't go out and tell the media that. Trust me, you don't think I wanted to say this? My years of playing football. You think I would want to say that?
How bad does Tua feel right now?
Yeah, well,
I mean, he's already gotten.
I ain't never had no Tua. Is all I'm saying.
So
I never said it.
I'm saying this is a big boys game. If you can't stand what somebody's going to say, you don't need to be in the game.
Here's what I don't like about it, not so much from Tua's standpoint, but it's the other defensive teammates. Because now you're just throwing all your defensive teammates under the bus, too, by not attaching your name to this. Because if I'm a media member, I'm going down every single defensive player, especially
until that first one stutters.
Until
whoever stutters said it.
Exactly, because you're trying. This is going to be a story for days, weeks, months to come until training camp, when you've got new material to go with.
I would rather you take more of an intelligent stance and say something along the lines of this. I was very upset because you know what this is stemming from. This is stemming from Brian Flores leaving, and we know where Brian Flores left because he didn't want Tua to begin with. He wanted somebody by the name of Justin Herbert. The GM, who's still employed by the Dolphins, by the way, picked Tua over Herbert. This is coming from them players knowing that. This is coming from them players loving Flores. This is coming from them players mad that Flores is gone. And the reason why Flores is gone is because he didn't want to side with Tua over Justin Herbert and Deshaun, whatever. I would have preferred the comment, hey, you know what? Brian Flores wanted Herbert. He didn't get Herbert. He had to deal with Tua. It didn't work out for us this year, and now he's gone. I wish we had Flores, who wanted Herbert in the beginning. That's an intelligent take, as opposed to just saying he's wasting my time.
Well, if it is Xavier Rhodes and he's one of the top cornerbacks in the game, he's comfortable because those guys are a rarity, and he might not be playing in Miami. He will be playing somewhere.
Well, Xavier Howard is the guy that's so.
Xavier Howard. I keep saying Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Howard.
Okay.
Regardless,
he's all pro too.
Regardless, it's just you're throwing your other defensive teammates under the bus unnecessarily. There's ways to go about that.
They're not getting rid of Tua. He's still under rookie contract.
Well, that's why I think the Lions
and that's the problem. We're stuck with this guy,
right?
And he's not that good. And I only have so many good years of playing left, and I got to be stuck with this guy.
Is Tua better?
He's feeling some kind of way like this is not making sense for me, and that might be his way of I want to get out of here, and maybe this is where you guys will get rid of me.
Is Tua better than Jared Goff? Or does he have potential to be better than Jared Goff?
I don't know. I'm hesitating because I think it's that close. Jared Goff is not as good as I thought he was. I don't think he's as bad as Tua is either. But he's a lot older, not a lot older, but a little older than that. I don't know. If you're asking me who I would take Jared Goff in a heartbeat over Tua. But Tua does have potential, but he's potential to be a better quarterback, not one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. I don't think he'll ever be that.
I was just only asking because what if when the Lions defensive players came out and said this guy's wasting my time here and like how would you feel about that? So that's why I was kind of asking.
Stan, you got anything you want to close out with?
Oh, this is going to be a nice football game. Two games coming up this weekend. I don't know. I'm picking the team who plays the best defense in the first half.
Look at that.
In the first half. That's going to be the game.
Who do you think that's going to be?
I think that's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think that's going to be I'm not sure. I'm not big on San Francisco, although they're playing real smart now. San Francisco is actually playing the best ball at the right time, so it could be the 49ers.
Oh, by the way, who did San Francisco beat twice this season?
Yep.
Count it up. 1.
And Sean McVay's never beaten Kyle Shanahan.
No.
Oh, Dad, you forgot. Somebody else is in studio in 2 seconds. Did we forget about that?
Nope, we did not. We're going to get Berkely Edwards in here.
Really?
He's got some fitness gear. Beast now, baby. We're going to talk to Berkely, and then we'll get back into the NFL. Big week ahead The Lions making some news today, too, including some compensatory picks, one of which is a really good one for Kenny Golladay. We'll let you know about that coming up next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Braylon catches TDs.
On the slant, there goes Braylon Edwards. Edwards on a foot race, and no one's going to get near him. 80 yards for the touchdown.
Ryan catches Pokemon. We all have our strengths. The bottom line on Woodward Sports. Start your new year with a new network. Woodward Sports Network is here.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Guardian Alarm. A good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure. Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights, the temperatures, detect smoke, carbon monoxide, all of it. Even going to let you lock and unlock your doors. All you have to do is call this number. Ready? 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's right. Alex, what number is that again? Outstanding. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Man, say it.
Man, scream it, baby. Stay out. Stay out. Stay out. Guardian Alarm, trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe. Ermanni and Edwards, we've got Berkely Edwards with us now. Creator, owner, model, everything. The business maven now. BeastNow.shop is the website for this new fitness gear. And Berkely, I got to tell you, I had you on earlier today. First of all, where did you get the idea for the clothing line? It looks awesome. Braylon was in here one day wearing that Beast Now, and it looks great.
Yes, sir. So I'm not gonna lie, my dad he has all the greatest ideas in the world. Braylon will tell you that too.
Man,
thousands of them. It's thousands of them. And so he came to me, he said, "Hey, I got a clothing idea called Beast Now." I'm like, "All right, well that's cool," because I've always wanted to come up with my own clothing line. And previous to that, I think about a year before, had already been doing research about being a CEO, owning your own brand. Building a website. So I said this is going to fall hand in hand. So he came up with the name, and I went with the research and ran from there.
The website is fantastic, by the way. It really is catches your eye. It's simple. You get to see what you want, and it just it's a local brand too. I mean, look, the city of Detroit. I mean, you're in there and you're doing it, and there's so many options as well. How did you come up with the fabric and all that stuff?
So the fabric, I've been doing a bunch of research. I probably did 2 years worth of research before I sold my first piece of clothing. And my dad he was on my head about that too. He said, "Look, you're new in the game, and you have to be different, especially because we have the Nikes, the Adidas, the Under Armours. You have
Lululemon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Athleta, all those people. You have to be different." And I wanted to come out earlier than that. But he stayed on me, said, "No, you have to be different." So what I did was go to local malls, right, see what was selling, filling fabrics, ordering fabrics from different manufacturers over in China, and just doing my research. And I ended up coming with the right blend of fabric, and people are loving it, from professionals all the way down to little kids.
Well, it's stylish, it's empowering, and it's an attitude as well, just having a Beast Now attitude.
Yes, sir.
Isn't?
Yes. So like I said earlier, so the Now in Beast Now is an acronym, and stands for Never Outworked. And I believe that phrase, if you take that and add that to your daily life, it can empower you to become the best version of yourself.
fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the best thing is it's like we talk about with Centron. Centron is one of our sponsors, one of our reads. It says enhance your brand, enhance your way of life, enhance your functionability, etc. It's the same thing with Beast Now. Like it's enhancing your life in terms of buying the product. It's not just I'm wearing it. It's cool. Like you're starting to read the mission. You're starting to read the mission statement and vibe into it. I'm just proud of like the hard work that he's put into it. Like I've been watching this from behind the scenes for a very long time, and he's been learning the factories. COVID hits. Like the average person is just first starting your own brand. COVID hits, they shutting down factories, and that was before COVID too. But the shutdown of factories and things of that nature, it can really dissuade you. But it did. You stayed the course, and I'm proud of you, man. But what's next for Beast Now? Like what's next? What's the next move for you and Beast Now?
So Beast Now, what's next? Getting into local schools. I've gotten into 2 high schools already, and it was a smaller job. And it kind of happened just because I knew the people at that school, and they hit me up. They said, "Hey, can you make some uniforms?" I've never done it, but I'm not going to say no.
Right.
I'm not going to say no.
First rule of business, yes.
Right.
Yes, I can
figure it out after that, right? So I got it done, and it went well. And now I have more knowledge. In manufacturers and everything. So high schools, 7-on-7 team. Somebody just approached me about outfitting a 7-on-7 team. So school 7-on-7 teams, those, and then right now trying to find a in-country manufacturer. I'm doing things over in China right now, which isn't bad, but again, like you said, COVID hits, stuff at importing and all this other stuff.
Supply chain.
It's ridiculous. So doing stuff over in America is something I want to do. So I'm actively searching there, and then 2. Trying to find a local graphic artist too. That's pretty hard.
Got Justin in the back.
Yeah.
You see what Justin does.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, if he can do it, he can do it. But other than that, just expanding the brand. Expanding the brand, expanding the name. I want this to be a lifestyle brand. I want everybody to be able to buy into the never out work mentality.
Go ahead.
I just want to, there's a number of people online right now. Where can I get it? BeastNow.shop.
Yes, correct.
BeastNow.shop is the website. So for all you folks online right now in the YouTube chat, we certainly appreciate it. BeastNow.shop.
Yes, sir.
Side note, what high school did you go to again?
Chelsea High School.
Shout out to Chelsea. They won that state championship this year, baby.
Hey, and I was at that game.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So
Hudsonville, correct?
Yes. Yeah. So I was at that game, and I haven't really been tapped into the high school after I left. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's far. It's far, and you have to have an address there. We kind of
it's past Dexter.
Yeah. We kind of slid under the radar a little bit. We drove. Yeah.
It happened.
What I mean. Yeah, But I actually, Nick Hill, who was before me, he went there.
Michigan State. There you go, Al May.
Yep. Michigan State. Great player, and it's been my brother. I was just in his wedding. His little brothers actually play on Chelsea now, Trenton and Tyson. And Trenton is the starting running back for Chelsea. So I went back. I had an opportunity to train both of them this year in football. And so I went, and that game was ridiculous. I mean, they were down.
27.
Yeah, they were down 27
in the fourth quarter.
Wow. And they came back to win?
And they came back and won.
You know why you didn't hear about it? Because guess what day it was? Michigan, Ohio State.
Oh, my gosh.
Yep. No, it was the day before.
I mean, it was the day before.
Oh, my gosh.
So, yeah, that was a crazy game. Honestly, it was pretty much it was just as exciting as Michigan.
Wow.
Michigan Ohio State.
That's great stuff, man. Well, Berkely, we're so happy for your success, man. Mike G on the YouTube chat says Belleville High. Get over to Belleville High.
I was at Belleville.
Oh God, yeah, that's a different story.
Yeah, that's for another day.
For another day. But
get off the track.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, thanks so much, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate you.
We certainly appreciate it. And you can get Beast Now at beastnow.shop.
Yes, sir.
Awesome stuff.
Appreciate you guys.
All right,
brother. Just throw it back to Maz.
We're going to throw that back to Maz, and we're going to continue on over here, guys. Okay. And with that, thanks, buddy. Yep. You're the man. With that, we are going to talk about this Lions situation over here. They got a compensatory third-round pick today, couple compensatory picks, and now this gives them 5 picks within the top 97.
Hold on, I got to say something. Sure. My dad always was banging at the door right now.
Oh, he was?
My dad said, hey, Brad Holmes, give him a call. Give Berkely a call. Berkely, literally, man. I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't mean to. Might as well waste the rest of this 3 minutes.
How about the USFL?
Man, I'm telling you, man. Like, it's a situation with my brother. I just been so upset in life, man. Like, he was 1049 full automatic and 100 as a senior in high school. Fastest kid in the country, 1049. He ran 4.3, 1,600 yards as a senior, 1,800 as a junior, 1,200 as a sophomore, man. And you're just waiting for that call. You're waiting to continue legacy, man, but whatever. But still fast. That joker is 26 now, still runs 4.3, still is in shape. So he's still got both dreams going. I didn't want to say that on air, but when he was here, but still proud of him because he's been doing that. Like, when you chase that football dream or that pro sports dream, you're focusing so much on that, and when it doesn't look like it's going to happen, when it kind of fades away, if it will, you get lost. You get depressed. It'd be a great time to reach out to Sean Jordan in SMA. You get depressed, but he didn't do that. He didn't go the route of being depressed. Like, he still stayed in shape. He's still gone to some tryouts. He played in the fan league last year down in Atlanta with Johnny Manziel and Josh Gordon. He was on the same team as those guys last year. They lost in the championship round. But he stayed the course. He's worked on his line, man. Like, he's a guy you could write a story about. You know what I'm saying? Just like his motivation. So really appreciate him coming in and really appreciate his drive over the last 5 years.
Is there going to be a trial maybe in the USFL?
Yeah,
maybe?
definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. A little Michigan Panther action.
3 months away from USFL action.
And there's no coach for Michigan yet, right? I mean, there's like 6 coaches, but not yet for the Michigan.
Make Stan the coach.
Make Stan the coach. Make Stan the general manager.
Since being I got to text him, but since being on the show, like, he's falling in love with sport and he's doing his notes and stuff. So make him the coach.
Listen, I got some updates to baseball for you.
Yep.
First of all, today is Baseball Hall of Fame voting day.
Barry Bonds in
4 o'clock. It'll be the day where Barry Bonds falls off the ballot.
It's a shame.
Same with Roger Clemens. Same with Sammy Sosa.
It's a shame.
10 years is over for those guys, and they're not going to get enough votes to stay on there. So they're going to have to be voted in later on by the Veterans Committee. But here is Labor Talks. Jeff Passan just put this off. Labor Talks are over. Here's what happened. Matter of fact, I'll tell you when we come back.
All right, you got it. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Braylon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
It's all happening now.
And a miraculous catch.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Hey, gang, it's Maz for the Folding Warehouse and Hamtramck and your host, Chris and Noni Hunt, the inventor of folding. Throwing a football at bowling pins. 2 of my favorite games put together. It is a great time. Bring your team building event, or you can just go with your family and friends. Go by yourself even. There's 2 ways to play. $10 unlimited open play, or you can have a private lane reservation as well. Over 100 beers in the house, including that $2 mystery beer machine. Multiple full bars. Bring your own food in or have it delivered any way you want it. Just come get your fold on. Check them out at foldingwarehouse.com.
Brian Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Sam Reynolds, Alex Mayer, and of course the great Tom Mazawey. Maz, you said you had some updates to base.
Not great, though. Not great updates. Labor talks are over, as per Jeff Passan, MLB. Here's the scoop. MLB agreed to accept parameters of a pre-arbitration bonus pool for the top 30. MLBPA is seeking $105 million for the young players. The league offered $10 million. That's right, 10%, less than 10% of what the players wanted. MLB offered a minimum raise to $615,000. MLBPA wants $775,000. And the MLB withdrew their offer to change the arbitration structure. In other words, they want to go to arbitration earlier than the MLBPA does. So in other words, they're not getting anywhere right now, and they're going to have to hit the table again and see what happens. Negotiations are underway again. The players are laughing at the $10 million offer by Major League Baseball. They want $105 million.
Not good.
Nope.
Not good.
Not good.
And two things about this, if you will. Number one, first and foremost, I have now moved, my position has evolved when it comes to these labor deals. And I kind of alluded to it a little bit yesterday. We always see how much money the players make. So it almost jades our mind into thinking that they're the ones that are wrong. But if you kind of correlate it to real life a little bit, and you see that the owners are making this, the players are making this, and the players are the ones doing all the work, you can't you can't be against the players and for like all this other stuff. I mean, the owners clearly have to come down in how much of a percentage they want and share that revenue with the players who are on the field doing the dirty work.
What do you think Carlos Correa went to, what's his name? Scott Boras.
The players, fans go to see the players. They don't go to see the owners.
Yeah, it's always been this way. I've had many arguments. When I was younger, you get to the point where you just understand certain people. They just see players as guys making money. They don't see the owners as a brand. They don't see the owners and insert owner here, whether it's Sheila Ford Hemp or Ford, whether it's Jerry Jones and the oil money down in Texas. Like, they've made their money. And they make tons and tons and tons of it. And they make it off of the athletes. They make it off the backs of the athletes. I'm not saying a lot aren't handsomely paid and rewarded. But it needs to go up as the ownership fees go up, as the TV deals go up. We deserve to get a piece of that. Like, we're fighting for that. So, just pay attention to fans. I think what both sides are looking at, and it's true, but I think somebody has to make a decision to flinch or move forward. They're looking at it as a situation they can't win. They can't have another situation like they did in the 90s. Like, baseball,
94 was horrible.
Like, 94 destroyed baseball, and if you don't have, and we've talked about it once, if you don't have Sammy and Mark, and then Barry right after that, like, baseball is dead. Like, baseball has just gotten back to a point where the young studs, the Tatises of the world, and you're excited, the Mookie Betts of the world, Mike Trout, Cody Bellinger, insert player, Carlos Correa, Javi
we got
Baez.
Almago here.
Like,
I can't wait to see the Tigers.
Exactly, man. I can't wait to see Tucker Barnhart and Javi Baez, but they can't survive that again. Like, and I've had this conversation. I was arguing with Rob Parker. Y'all know how Rob is.
Come on,
man. Braylon,
He's on
that's
MLB
not how it goes.
Come on.
He's all over it today.
I was talking to him, and I said, nobody watches baseball anymore. It's like 2014. And he gave me all these stats that he made up. So I thought, and I hit him with this, and he couldn't answer in 2017. I said, who's the best player in baseball? And we both agreed Mike Trout at that time. I said, Mike Trout. I said, nobody knows Mike Trout if they don't like baseball.
Right.
Like, in basketball,
you would know him in the street.
You know who LeBron is. In football, you know Aaron Rodgers. You know Tom Brady. You know insert player that you know here. Hockey, everybody knows the guy with no teeth, which is all of them. But it's Ovechkin. Everybody knows Ovi. Everybody knows Sid the Kid. Now I think Connor McDavid is the best player now. But anyway, you know the players. Baseball is one of those sports they don't promote the players. If this goes the distance, baseball is done with, man.
Maz, what do you think?
I'm hurting, man.
Baseball's done.
Because in a few weeks, 3 weeks to be exact, is when pitchers and catchers are supposed to report to Lakeland and Tampa Bay and anywhere else there is a port of call. And being a spring baseball fan, because it gets me through the harsh winter.
Sure.
I wore my old English D today. I'm ready for some baseball now. Football's winding down. I'm going to go through my depression once the Super Bowl hits. I need to see baseball. I need to see our future stars. I want to see Javi Baez in the old English D. I just want to see it, man, and they better get their act together really quick.
Just as you talk about baseball, okay, in where they are and can they survive. If you think about where the divisional game that we just saw in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs and the 51 million people
and the Bills
watched the Bills and the Chiefs on Sunday. 51 million people. In baseball, in the World Series, 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, 40,
Yeah, no,
50,
game by game.
64 million total for the 6 games.
Wow.
So 51 million for one divisional
For 3
playoff
hours.
game. 3 hours. 64 million total for all 6 games in the NFL or in Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah, there's no comparison.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, they better get their stuff figured out because that number, I mean, is getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
By the way,
no
we were talking
doubt
about
that.
Aaron Rodgers before, a destination. He's hanging with Pat McAfee, of course. He does his once-a-week spiel. Pat McAfee's got him in a Colts uniform.
I just don't know why you'd go to the AFC.
Well, the Colts, they're a pretty damn good team. They were our team.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Carson Wentz, that meltdown that team went through. Frank Reich, I don't know what the hell happened with him. They lose 2 games to Jacksonville. I just don't get it.
And they're in a division that's easily winnable.
Easy.
Yeah, that's true.
Easily, like they are the AFC move you make because they're and obviously he played for the Colts. But talking about Pat McAfee, that's a division you can easily win. You look at the Titans. I get it. They're a number 1 seed. They're like the most fraudulent number 1 seed I may have ever seen ever in life, minus their defense. You know, you look at the Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like it's a tough situation.
Well, can you imagine the Titans if they had Aaron Rodgers instead of Ryan Tannehill? I mean, they're a quarterback away from being a
Titans would be in the Super Bowl.
Super
or at
Bowl
least they
team.
would have to go against the Chiefs. You know what? Going back to baseball, I know we're bouncing back around. That's how my mind works anyway.
Mine too.
It's
Perfect
a good thing.
match.
That's why we're boys. Man. That's why we're boys, man. We have to have Miles and Maz keep us on track. Talking about the viewership. Remember how we talked about how late games start, Maz, and we were complaining? And a guy wrote in, he tweeted. He said, "Dear MLB, like my son wants to watch this and be a part of this. How can you grow your brand if my son has to go to bed at 8:45, game comes on at 8:45 or 9:15? What if they took a stance like Nickelodeon? Was it Nickelodeon?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is Nickelodeon the one that had the playoff?
slime.
Yep.
Yeah, they had the
slime.
playoff cast. That
Yep.
could be something the MLB can do to get people watching, or kids watching. That Nickelodeon thing was kind of cool.
It
man.
is.
That was
They do a
kind
nice
of cool.
job.
You know, if baseball just feels stuck too. And, part of being stuck, baseball, you just look at what they're doing with the Hall of Fame today. How Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens are not Hall of Famers is a travesty. You know it. I know it. I'd like to see if these baseball writers who don't vote for him, for either of these guys in the Hall of Fame, I want to see what their past involves. They're holier than thou. King
A lot of hard drive scrubbing, I'll tell you that.
What's that?
A lot of hard drive scrubbing.
Oh, my God. Like, I'm sure
It's a
there's
dirty
something
joke.
over the course of their career that they did that, probably was a little unsavory. I would like to dig up something on those guys who don't vote for Barry Bonds and for Roger Clemens. For what? Who are you?
Bob Nightingale, our friend, put his ballot out today. He's got them all checked off. He's got them on his ballot.
Seriously,
But they're not going to be on. They're not going to make it.
I mean, if you don't vote for
What's the
Barry
percentage
Bonds,
that you have to make?
75%, I believe, right?
75?
I'd have to. Yeah, it's pretty high.
If you're a baseball writer and you do not have Barry Bonds or Roger Clemens,
Go to hell.
Seriously.
Go to hell.
And your vote should be taken away. I firmly believe that. Who are these people that don't vote for Derek Jeter to make the Hall of Fame? Who don't vote for Barry Bonds? Because what? I mean, how do you know that these are the only players that were taking steroids during that
You
era?
don't.
You didn't even test for it.
I tell you about. You know what happened? Jose Canseco told him so.
I mean, you have no idea just how many players were using performance-enhancing drugs during that time. You have no idea. If you want to put an asterisk, put an asterisk. But my goodness, they are part of baseball's history, part of baseball's storied history, and they belong in the Hall of Fame, both of them, and should have been in a long time ago.
But Mark McGwire's in.
A travesty.
Yeah, like, and it doesn't, and like you said, you always say the writer of you don't have to put somebody down to put somebody up. So when I say Mark McGwire is in, I'm saying Mark McGwire was around that era.
Mm-hmm.
Like more has come out on Mark McGwire than these guys, and he's in. I mean, he was smart. He retired and didn't take that $25 million deal by St. Louis to get out of the light. But I mean, both of these guys have had Hall of Fame careers in the first 12 years they played. Not to mention the next 10 years after that they played. So they've had 2 Hall of Fame career stints. Clemens with the Red Sox, Bonds with the Pirates. They could get in just off that alone.
Yeah.
Hey, there's another league, another network interested in bringing Al Michaels aboard. besides Amazon.
Ooh, what is that? Give it to me next, Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line.
Hi, I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
You want commercials? The other guys have those. You want great sports takes?
Touchdown! What a play!
Woodward Sports has those. Detroit's new sports outlet, the Woodward Sports Network.
Planet Fitness. Hey, speaking of judgment-free zone, Planet Fitness is home of judgment-free zone where you can work out in a non-intimidating environment.
Terry walks around with his 2-pound weights.
Hey, can you see Terry with his ball main hat on?
He's got his
working with
little
his
hat.
2-pound weights.
He's got his little suit coat on. He's walking around with his 2-pound weight.
His conversation, he's cussing people out. The F word.
I'm a Lion fan.
Membership is only $10 a month, $22.99 if you're a Black Card member. What is a Black Card member? I will tell you. Black Card members come with hydro massage chairs, and total body enhancement, along with access to over 2,000 locations worldwide and unlimited guest privileges. I'm going to tell you about me. When I used to be a member at another gym, you always have people that want to come and play basketball, come work out with you, and it is a hassle. It is an absolute hassle if every time they say, well, you've exceeded your guest for this month. Now you got to pay for the guest. Now, it's a hassle. Guess what? Planet Fitness says the hell with that. Bring as many guests as you want. Gotta love Planet Fitness for that one, man. No matter where you are, there is a Planet Fitness near you. Right now, $0 down, $10 a month. Planet Fitness is hiring at all positions. Visit www.planetfitness.com.
Maz is our broadcasting guru. We're all over the broadcasting.
Love broadcasting.
I know. It is fun. I mean, look, I heard Mike Tirico do that playoff game. I think it was the wild card weekend.
Yeah,
it
first
felt
game.
like a big game.
The Raiders Bengals.
I mean, felt like a big game to me. Mike Tirico calling games. So Al Michaels is definitely out of Sunday Night Football next year.
Next year, Sunday Night Football is going to be Mike Tirico and
Chris Collinsworth.
Yeah. Hey, I gotta tell you, Chris Collinsworth. That's going to be the Sunday Night Football, and they had promised Al that he was going to not have to retire, but go to Amazon because they're going to have the Thursday night game. I told you about Troy Aikman wanting some more money, and possibly leaving Fox to join Al Michaels on Thursday Night Football on Amazon. But then we read about ESPN's Monday Night Football booth, and three nice guys. They're nice guys. They don't bother me, but they don't excite me either.
Nah.
Brian Greasy, Steve Levy. I think Steve Levy's a better studio host than he is a play-by-play guy.
I agree.
I like Brian Greasy. I think I like him better in the college game. As far as Lou Riddick, I do like Lou Riddick no matter where he's at. I like him on Sports Center. I like him in the booth. I like Ryan Clark, man.
Oh, man, Ryan Clark's really
I love
good.
Dan Orlovsky. There's a lot of talent on ESPN. But are you ready for this? Al Michaels might get the nod for Monday Night Football on ESPN. And he was, of course, the voice of Monday Night Football after Howard and Frank Gifford passed the torch on. So
now that was my booth growing up. Al Michaels, Frank Gifford, and Dan Deerdorf.
It was a great booth.
That was my in one of the very few 3-man booths that work.
Yeah.
You know, that's part of it too. I mean, Steve Levy and Brian Greasy had their thing, you know, and they did like B college games. To go from a B college game to Monday Night Football, that's a huge elevation.
I got a move for you with that Monday Night Cast, and it just dawned on me. So we've been talking about it since.
I have the move. You can go first.
I have the move as well.
I got the move.
My move's the best.
I guarantee you, me and you have the same move.
Go ahead.
Get rid of Greasy, bring in Dan Orlovsky.
And go Steve Levy still?
I still stay with Steve Levy, and because Dan Orlovsky adds so much excitement. He brings that Tony Romo vibe on, but I still love Louis Riddick and what he can do. And then Steve Levy is the bridge for that. I'm telling you, add Dan Orlovsky, get rid of Brian Greasy.
Here it is. The best team in sports is Kevin Burkhardt on the lead mic. He could go with anybody. I love what he's doing with Greg Olson right now. Go to Fox and put those guys on Monday Night Football because they are an absolute number one. Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson. Kevin Burkhardt of Fox.
And Greg so
Olsen.
both of them, that's the move?
That's the move. That's your Monday night.
I thought you said you didn't like Greg Olsen, though.
I love Greg Olsen.
He's gotten better?
He's getting better and better by the day.
I think he needs to improve a little bit.
He's gonna, but the main voice
is Kevin Berkely.
He's the best.
Calls a really nice game, but it just doesn't seem as sexy for Monday Night Football.
The problem that I have with Monday Night Football, I
agree.
Yeah, the one problem I have with Monday Night Football, I like Maz's. I like that. The only problem I have with, I feel like Monday Night Football over the past, say 6 years, maybe 7, they've become a place to try things out. Mm-hmm. Like Monday Night Football is this, and ever since it's been on ESPN. But Maz, tell me if I'm wrong. Monday Night Football is the staple. Monday Night Football, like you just talked about, Darren.
It was.
Exactly. So let's go by that. It was the staple. It's the staple. It's the broadcast that you get on there. You know these people. Like, everything is going to be flawless. Whether they F something up, those are the only 2 or 3 people that are going to know it. That's how good that broadcast was. Somewhere along the line in the last 7 years, we've started just auditioning individuals throughout Monday Night Football in the year. Like Ray Lewis is on, and this guy's on, and Booger's floating around. This
Rush
weird,
Limbaugh was on.
They got to get back to a point.
Dennis Miller.
That's right. I forgot about that. You got to get to a point where Monday Night Football goes back to the traditional historic vibe. I'm not saying you have to have dinosaurs on there, but I'm saying the traditional historic vibe. This sets the precedent for every other broadcast in any other sport.
Well, if you
that's
want
what they got to get back.
If you want that, it's Al Michaels then. I might not like Al Michaels anymore, but if you want a guy to go back into the future, there's your voice of Monday Night Football.
So it doesn't even, and that's what I'm saying, and so I'm trying to be particular with my words. It doesn't have to be an old voice. It just has to be with the people that were on it were great together. Like, that's what they got to get back to.
You say
Al
people
Michaels
who
and
are
Dan
great
Orlovsky,
together. People who are great together. Let's not just all willy-nilly add this guy over here.
I know who you're picking.
Let me tell you.
I know who you picked.
People who are great together.
Can I just give it to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Gus Johnson.
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Gus Johnson and Joe Klatt would be good, but they're under contract with Fox.
I was going to say Gus Johnson and Aqib Talib.
Oh, I love Aqib Talib. I love if
I love
Aqib Talib could do
rawness.
It.
I love the rawness.
You ready for this?
Shut up, Alex.
In my best Maz voice. You ready for
There's
this?
nothing wrong with rawness.
Take Kirk Herbstreit off of game day.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
Let him do the Saturday night college football game with Chris Fowler. And then let Fowler and Herbstreit do Monday Night Football as well.
I'm in.
Because Fowler and Herbstreit are really good together.
See, that's exactly what I was talking about. It doesn't have to be some old guys that remind you of 1960s. It just got to be some people that are the bar.
And you can do,
Hello, it's.
I mean, look.
Howard Cosell.
I don't know if the NFL would want their team.
Yeah. How do you not?
I don't know if the NFL would want their team with doing college football.
Stop it, Alex.
But I think you could do a Saturday game and a Monday game.
It's the same family. It's ESPN.
That's why you don't have to do anything with contracts other than add a zero to their paycheck.
It's zero.
But
they won't be
it.
getting more.
You don't have to buy Fox out of Kevin Burkhardt, or you don't have to buy NBC out of Al
thought
Michaels.
about this a lot.
You can just add a zero to Herbstreit and Fowler. Take Herbstreit off of game day.
I dig it.
Take him off of game day. Take a little something off his plate. Let him do the Saturday game. Let him do the Monday game.
I agree.
Nice call.
They're great together.
I agree.
Now, when they did an NFL game, and it wasn't too long ago,
I liked it.
It was a Saturday fill-in game.
It was
remember?
Saturday fill-in.
And our guy Chad Johnson, we always tweeting back and forth. He didn't like them because he didn't think they were prepared enough. I say you got to let them get their feet wet and get into the NFL family, and they'll be great.
Yeah,
they'll be. Chris Fowler, man.
Chris Fowler tells you the what school every NFL player went to that's playing in the game he's calling.
Yeah, he does.
Fowler's top of the line, man. I can't believe how
top
good.
notch.
I can't believe how good he's become.
Yeah, I didn't. I hated it when Musburger left the booth.
Oh yeah,
and then Fowler. It's like, why? Fowler's so good at studio host. Why would you want to go up to the booth? But it's less work. It's less work.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it just is. If you got anything on that, great. If not, I'm going to move on back to the NFL. I do want to make mention.
We did a poll, Ryan.
Oh, we did a poll.
We did a poll. Well, I did a poll.
Please.
I said, who is more deserving of the Monday Night Football job?
See the poll, Cougar?
And I said the choices were Chris Collinsworth, Charles Barkley, or Aqib Talib. And Aqib Talib is currently winning the vote.
Can you imagine
Talib.
Barkley
I'm
on the
voting
Cavs,
for
man?
Barkley would be hilarious.
That play call was terrible. It was terrible.
Oh, man. There you go. The Lions got some compensatory picks today, or expected to receive compensatory picks for players that they lost. They're expected to get a third-round pick, number 97, for Kenny Galladay.
That's a steal, by the way.
Steal.
Yeah.
Fifth-round pick for Marvin Jones.
I know the Giants are pissed.
And a sixth-round pick as well. If you look at it, that would give the Lions 5 picks of the top 100 players.
Yeah, they got a 6 for Jared Davis. For letting David go.
6
they didn't get anything for Jamal Agnew, though, which I was disappointed. I thought they should have gotten something for him. But every guy that you sign, you lose a pick. So they signed those 2 receivers at the beginning of the year. Terrell Williams, was it?
Yep.
And there was one other guy.
Brashad Perriman.
Brashad Perriman, who caught an overtime touchdown. He caught an overtime touchdown for Tampa.
It cost them 2 draft picks by signing those guys.
Man, it's one of those now, man. You look at that and you talk about the worst to first, and we talked about that, and it's looking better by the day for the Detroit Lions to be the next worst to first. Aaron Rodgers potentially even too.
Look out!
Don't get too excited. You gotta pull it back a little bit.
That is so. You say Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers does leave, and Tom Brady does leave, who is the favorite in the NFC next season? I want your answer to that coming up next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network, the bottom line. I was staring at the sky and I was thinking, all right, I got something for you.
Okay, you got it.
I got something for you.
Let's go, baby.
All right, Woodward Sports Network.
Very good.
It's the bottom line, baby.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Opinions are like ear holes, and we're putting ours in yours.
That's not winning, joint.
It's Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about La Stanford Chevrolet, located in the great city of Dearborn on Michigan Avenue. GM announced that all-new electric Chevrolet Silverado, and reservations are open right now on Chevy.com. Les Stanford will have one of the largest allocations of that vehicle, so you need to get in line at Les Stanford Chevrolet. For more, call them today, 313-565-6000, 313-565-6000, or hit them up online, lesstanford.com, lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet, find new roads.
You better find them.
Find them, baby.
Yeah, I wasn't saying like that. I was saying more so like, you know what I'm saying? That's like if Calvin just dropped by like 1 week and did an interview with us, and then that turned into a weekly deal. Like he was just revealing all the dirt and all the secrets, all his mindset. Like that's what I meant. I wasn't trying to dog you.
We need a Aaron Rodgers here on the Ermanni and Edwards bottom line program. So Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Herman Moore,
if you're out there, man, you're paying attention,
willing to dish the dirt, we're here for you.
I love the Pat McAfee story with him and Aaron Rodgers. Do you know their story?
No.
How they got friends? So they were at a golf outing together. Aaron does an annual golf outing. Pat McAfee played in it 1 year. And going into the golf outing, Aaron Rodgers had heard that Pat McAfee was funny as hell. Heard that he was a stand-up comedian. So he basically reached out to Pat and said, hey, would you mind doing 5 minutes at the dinner the night before the golf outing? And so Pat McAfee tells him, he says no. He says, I'm not going to do it. And so Aaron was like, oh, shoot, I didn't want to ask the guy anyway. And now I ask him, and now he says, no, I feel like a you-know-what, which I'm like, how do you feel like what you are? But anyway, he said, I feel like, a piece of, whatever. So then as they're at the dinner, when they're up there, as Aaron Rodgers is going up there to kick it off, Pat goes up there, steals the microphone, and does like 10 minutes worth of comedy, like destroys it, knocks it out the park. And then somebody, I think Aaron Goff with him that time or at that particular next day, they've been best friends ever since.
Oh my God!
He's going to announce. He mentioned today on the Pat Show on McAfee's show that when he does make a decision, he will announce it live on that show. And another thing tonight, Brian Gumbel on Real Sports on HBO, one-on-one with
Antonio Brown.
Tonight
on Real Sports.
Is this
HBO.
live?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! This is 8
tonight.
It's not live. They recorded it.
How
They
long
taped
ago?
it.
Probably after the New York Jets deal.
Maybe today.
Oh,
Today.
wow.
Yeah.
That's how those things
No,
work.
you got the hottest. They got him just when they needed to get him.
Yeah, that's perfect time.
Real Sports is an awesome show. Love it.
I was on it one time. They were talking about this. Mike Strahan was on there. I was on there. It was Deadspin. This is kind of when they first started talking about like sports blogging, how sports blogging was affecting the NFL or sports in terms of like their opinions. And Mike Strahan and the guy from Deadspin, they got into a heated argument. I just was like eating popcorn, like, no, I'm just here for the conversation.
I used to like the show, then something sour. I got sour on it somehow.
Did you?
I don't know. Maybe it was.
My wife loves watching that with me.
Maybe it was pandemic related or something like that. It was
They stopped
all
talking about
COVID, and I was like, I don't want to watch. I see, I'm been inundated with COVID all day long.
They stopped talking about the 4 like major sports. It became it became a bunch of pieces that weren't worthy of, in my opinion, that weren't worthy of like Brian Gumbel and Real Sports and like
Well, maybe worthy, just not for the audience. I mean, I really don't
that's
care
not
about
worthy
something
for
like
Real Sports.
Yeah.
Like you could put this on like some
Right.
things you put on the internet on their website.
I
Things
don't really
like that.
care about like the skier that
No.
you know what I mean.
There's some great stories.
I mean,
out
there are.
What about
There's
the
some
guy?
great
The
stories
ticket guy was a fun one. The guy that catches a foul ball at every game. Did you see that?
I
one?
didn't see that one.
It's like a guy that's caught a foul ball like at every ballpark. He goes and catches the foul balls, or they're giving balls. Yeah, it was interesting. COVID.
Interesting. What was I talking about now? I totally lost my train of thought.
I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, we're talking about AB is on Real Sports
Oh yeah,
tonight.
AB is on Real
AB is
Sports.
on Real
What
Sports.
do you want him to say tonight?
Oh no! What did you ask Braylon? Braylon was going to say something.
I mean,
Go
guys,
into the commercial. We were talking about Al Michaels and all of that kind of jazz.
Oh, he gave it. He said Chris Fowler and Herb Street.
I know, but then he asked you something. Anyone on YouTube, can you tell us what we were talking about?
We are all over the place today, man.
I play football. What's y'all excuse?
I got CTE.
I got
from bowling.
CTE too, man.
Bowling.
I got it. I got it from banging my head against the wall.
Oh my God.
My
Being a Lions
goodness.
fan.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's do this. Peyton Manning believes that the Lions could win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. In fact, he actually talked about it. There's a tweet regarding it. I'm telling you, Jared Goff has what it takes to be a championship quarterback. There's no doubt about it. That was Peyton Manning via the Manning cast on ESPN. I'm curious as to what the relationship is with Jared Goff. If you know, he used to do those Manning passing camps or what, because this seems to be an awfully random thing
as hell
to talk about. But as a Lions fan, I sit there and I say, yeah, I mean, look, this is one of the great evaluators of the quarterback position that there has ever been. He's been one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So I think what he says does carry stock, and I think all of us here in Detroit hope that
he's right. Hey, he showed me something, man. He did. Once they started getting people in here in place and make Amon-Ra St. Brown turn out to the way he turned out. Right. You could see it's a different Jared Goff the minute that Reynolds showed up here. Josh Reynolds, one single little player.
I remember what I was talking about now,
gave us some hope. What was it, the 13 seconds?
No, no, but everybody on the chat is saying all the things I could do in 13 seconds.
Exactly.
It was, I asked you, Braylon, who would be the favorite in the NFC if Brady and
Gotta love people.
Rodgers left.
We love you so much in the chat. We appreciate you guys. We do it for you guys. You guys get us better. Thank you, because neither one of us 5 and counting Sam and Alex can figure it out.
Oh no! Someone just wrote R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Oh man!
Oh yeah!
Don't tell me Chuck Norris.
He died before the show.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh man!
Chuck Norris
didn't even have a chance to listen.
The guy was supposed to live forever.
Damn.
Son of a.
Somebody sent me a meme earlier. I get it now. Damn, that's tough, man. I used to love like the Chuck Norris stories.
Here we go again.
No, anyway, getting back to the NFC. Who would be the favorite in the NFC? You got to go with the Cowboys. You know, they fell apart this year. You know, Dak Prescott, he let you down. He was not the leader that you needed in the first round of the playoffs. You know, you lost Michael Gallup, et cetera, et cetera. Insert excuse here. But they would have to be the favorite. They'll be returning their team. I think Mike McCarthy is going to stay on. I think Dan Quinn probably will stay on as defensive coordinator unless they do a flip-flop of those two. But they just have everything that you need. They have the quarterback, and I know he messes up in certain moments. That'll be a conversation that he'll have in the offseason this season. I think he can get it fixed. Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard, you still have that 1-2 punch because Zeke's not going anywhere. Nobody's picking up that contract, so you still have that. You'll get Gallup back next year. That defense, Micah Parsons will be in year 2. Lawrence, Trayvon Diggs, he can work on his game, not take so many chances. 11 interceptions looks amazing, but 1,200 yards of giving up yards from opposition wide receiver, that doesn't look good. I think they're the only team that could be number one outside of Rodgers and Peyton. Not Peyton now. You just said Peyton. Tom. Unless you're going to go with Stafford.
Yeah, I guess you could look at Stafford, and I think you've really got to look at San Francisco, too. I mean, what they've built.
Quarterback situation. What's their quarterback situation?
Well, that's just it. I don't believe their quarterback next year will be Jimmy G or Trey Lance for whatever reason. But again, I don't know how you go ahead and replace a quarterback that has, A, gotten you to the NFC Championship game, or
he stinks.
Got you to a Super Bowl. He is one win away from getting that crappy quarterback is one win away from taking your team to the Super Bowl.
Did Baltimore keep Trent Dilfer? No. And he won a Super Bowl. You don't keep a guy that's bad. He's bad. He's mediocre. I think I'd rather have Jared Goff than him.
He may
I would too, actually. I would actually rather have Jared Goff.
I'm taking Jimmy G. Like at the end of the day,
he's good looking though.
No, well, I'm not going for that reason, but he is. But it's one of those situations where with Jimmy G, man, you look at what the team does around him. Like they're smart. They just run the ball. But even when they pass the ball, Deebo Samuel's an all-pro wide receiver. You don't get all-pro status by yourself. You know, George Kittle. I mean, you see what George Kittle does under Jimmy G. He plays well. He does enough to get champions. I mean, to get you. And now it's time for the defense to step up as it relates to Jimmy G. So I'm higher on Jimmy G as it relates to things that he can do, as it relates to the things that he can't do.
And then here you go. I fully believe that this is a quarterback league, and to win a Super Bowl, you need to have a really dynamic quarterback. But if Brady and if Rodgers retire or leave the NFC this year, I think you really have to look at the Philadelphia Eagles next year as a team that can compete for a Super Bowl. Not only were they a playoff team this year, and yes, sure, they were the extra team that was added, but they have 3 first-round picks, 15, 16, and 19. They could completely add to their team this year in that first round alone. If Jalen Hurts can get a little bit of help, hell, maybe even take the next step, I think Philadelphia is a team that can certainly do some damage next year in the NFC, not only in the NFC East, but in the NFC as a whole.
Yeah, they got to find a complete identity. And the thing that bothers me so much with the Eagles is, you know, 1 week you want to run the ball. You're the league leader in rushing. Miles Sanders comes on late in the season because he got healthy. You run the ball, a lot of RPOs with Jalen Hurts. But then a lot of times you dump the passing yards in his lap. You dump it on him, say, go out and win me a game. And he's not that type of quarterback yet. So I just want them to come up with a complete, understood, and agreed upon identity of who we are, what we want to do, and move forward. Because right now they're still kind of sporadic and all over the place. That's why you see them sometimes beat a team by a lot. Sometimes they're in close games with teams like Tampa early in the year, and then sometimes they get there, you know what, blew out. So yeah. I just need more consistency.
Definitely intriguing again, and you know, for Lions fans, I think it's worth pointing out that at least you don't have to deal with Allen, Jones, Burrow, Jackson, Mahomes, Herbert. You know what I mean?
By the way, I don't see anything on Chuck Norris being dead.
Yeah.
Come on, YouTube. What are you doing to me?
The great YouTube
get
chat.
you, man.
Right. They might have gotten us. Hey,
Walker, Texas Rangers.
It is the time of the day that Maz likes to play his videos of the day. We will do that next. Ermanni and Edwards.
Woodward Sports Network. Chuck Norris is still alive. So we think.
We think.
And it's the bottom line.
Please.
sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Dun, 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 dun. It is that time of the day where we talk about Gypsy Vodka, Michigan's own gluten-free vodka. Corn distilled 6 times by artesian spring water. Corn distilled 6 times using artesian spring water. This stuff is amazing. 50 formulas went into making it, getting it right 50 times. Something great about the number 50. Von Miller, Super Bowl 50 MVP. I don't know, man. Sounds good to me. Adam and Mike, we appreciate you here at Woodward Sports because this stuff is amazing. If you're looking for a vodka, go down to your local liquor store, neighborhood liquor store that is, and ask for Gypsy Vodka. They have it, and they will sell it to you. Tell them Braylon Edwards sent you, and they may give you a discount. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. Hey, but if you're going to drink, be responsible. Drink responsible.
Hey, guys, just quickly before we do videos of the day, something to keep an eye on. The Detroit Lions and Hard Knocks. This is from Jeremy Reisman on Twitter. With all of these head coaching changes, there are currently 3 teams and only 3 teams that could be forced to do Hard Knocks this year. The Jets, the Panthers.
And the Jets have done it once already. I was on that one.
Yeah, but it was over 10 years ago.
Okay,
the
right.
Jets, the Panthers, and the Lions.
Who the hell wants to see Matt Rule?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Who wants to see Robert Saleh?
Nobody.
Nobody. This is certainly a situation where I think you've got to look at biting kneecaps and Dan Campbell. The breakdown, 9 new head coach teams don't qualify. That's why the Lions didn't qualify last year, because Dan Campbell was their head coach. Playoff teams from the past 2 years can't be forced to do it, and teams that have been on Hard Knocks in the past 10 years can't do it.
How did that happen? Didn't the Cowboys make the playoffs a couple years ago?
Yeah,
but they were this year.
They can't be forced to do it. I guess they can ask.
Yeah.
Got it.
You can ask them to do it, but to be forced to do it, you
Well, it
can't
didn't
say
help the
no.
Colts this year. The first in-season Hard Knocks
It's
came
crazy.
out to be a crapper. But it was good, though.
It's crazy that you say that because it's like when Hard Knocks started is kind of when they started doing their thing. Like they kind of went on that run when Hard Knocks started, and then at the end it just.
I wonder if they're going to do a pre-season, or are they going to do it in season, or are they going to do it both? Because last year you had the Cowboys in the preseason, and it sucked. And in the midseason, you had the Colts, which was really good.
You got to do a preseason. I mean, people at that time of year want football.
Yeah.
I mean, give me as much football content as you can in August, and we'll be fine. Maz, it's time for your videos of the day. We need some sort of graphic or stinger with music and all that stuff.
That would be nice.
Videos of the day, kind of like a
Have like a cartoon picture of Maz back here.
kind of like we used to do with what do you call it?
Chair of Flame?
No, not Chair of Flame.
Man Chill Out?
Man Chill Out.
What happened to that?
We got
it's on the
nothing
back
to chill
burner.
out on.
There's plenty to chill out on.
You know what happened to it? We have so much freaking content to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can fit it in again.
We'll get it in. We'll
just
start
let
it
me know.
tomorrow. Let's start it tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how it
All
goes.
right. We'll see.
Anyway, let's take you back to Sunday. It's the Rams and Buccaneers. Rams setting up for the game-winning field goal by Matt Gay. Let's go on the sidelines. Watch Aaron Donald and his teammates trying to root this field goal in from inside the NFL.
He's automatic.
Look him out. Check him out.
Matt Gay right here. This is Mr. Automatic.
Here we go. Here we go, Brian.
So good. So good. Let's go. Aaron Donald. Spirit fingers.
Kick is up. And good.
And it's good.
They're all running on the field now.
Very good.
Look how excited they are. Matt Gay, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, beats the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, boy, I bet that felt good.
I bet that felt good, huh?
He called him Mr. Automatic with a 20-yard field goal.
Bet that
Give me
felt
a break.
good, right?
I mean, it's still the playoffs. Give me a break, Aaron Donald.
Dude, a couple of those snaps were off to the side, too. The holder never gets any credit for a field goal that's good. I mean, the holder might be one of the most underappreciated positions in all of sports.
You know who's the best holder? I love him, and you might know him because last time you guys won a Super Bowl, Giants, Steve Weatherford.
Oh, yeah.
Steve Weatherford was our punter.
Great special teams guy.
Yeah, jacked, too. He's the biggest kicker I've ever seen. He's swole.
Bigger than Jay Feely?
Yeah, He's a funny guy. He's super funny. University, he went to Illinois. I think he went to Champaign. But he always used to get mad. He was like, we talk about Nick Folk making the kick or Jay Feely. Oh, so you didn't see the hole? Right. You didn't see that terrible snap I had to pull over? You guys are something else. He used to always have a running joke after every field goal. It's pretty funny.
Hey, let's take you back to 1994, shall we? Let's go Elway against Montana. Joe Montana as a Kansas City Chief. Do you remember that game?
Willie. I don't remember that game.
1994?
Neil Smith had 2 sacks, if I'm right.
I think you are right.
Neil Smith had 2 sacks.
Marty Schottenheimer was a hell of a coach, too,
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Couldn't get the big one, though.
Well, maybe his kid can this year.
We'll see how it goes. See how it goes. This
God,
kid.
don't get me started.
Hey, let's take you back to 1987 now, because today the New York Football Giants won their first Super Bowl at Pasadena against the Denver Broncos, and the first player to go to Walt Disney World was Phil Simms.
Oh,
Check
wow.
it out. There it is. Gotta love it.
I missed this.
No difference.
I wanted to do this so bad.
Look at Phil Simms.
I wanted to do this so bad.
Look at my
This is
G-Man.
the great Mark Champion.
Not yet, though. Let's hear it.
Champion.
You just won the Super Bowl. What are you doing next? I'm going to go to Disney World.
Yeah, Phil.
Oh, man. Look at him.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Chills,
So
baby.
good.
Yeah, that's
Chills.
a good
One of the greatest
So
days of
good.
my life.
That's a good one right there.
One of the greatest freaking days of my life.
I love it, Maz.
Wow.
That
I
was
cried like a little baby.
Who's better than you?
Man.
Oh, man.
Gosh. This
Very
one's for
good.
Braylon. This is a little basketball for Braylon. This was very funny. JaVale McGee
Oh, my God.
with the Phoenix Suns.
Mr. Shaq.
What happened? I saw this a little bit.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
They tricked him.
They send him out. His teammates like, you're going to lead us out onto the court. Here it is. JaVale McGee getting it
That's
from his
terrible.
teammates. We just sent them out, and the team stayed behind. Look, he's running out on the court by himself right now. It's the Suns and the Pacers. He finds out he got duped. I'm the only guy here. He runs back. And now watch his team. They're going to run by him.
Watch how he plays it off, though. Watch how he plays it off, though. No, but he's doing the handshakes. He played it off really good.
That is hilarious.
Like,
That's so good.
That can only happen to a couple people, and they recover like that. JaVale McGee is a big team guy, fun guy. I think Dwight Howard probably would have done a good job with that, but you did that to me. I'd have been in the locker room fighting somebody.
So funny,
Isn't that
man.
fun?
Great stuff, guys.
Great sports. Love sports.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable, guys. What a day, huh?
Can't wait.
What a
one,
day.
man.
What a day. Back at it tonight. We'll get after it a little bit, guys. And, one of the things I want to talk tomorrow about, Urban Meyer spoke yesterday with Dan Dockich. Hit on some of those comments. He talked about about coaching from college to the NFL, some of the biggest differences. And he talked about NIL.
Did he talk about kicking a player?
Talked about kicking the player. Yep,
Josh Lambo.
He did talk about all those things. It was really interesting.
Alex, you got some work to do tomorrow.
It was
I'm gonna
really
send you the
interesting
video.
to hear his perspective on a lot of things. It's just so funny to hear people just try to, rewrite history. So that's one of the things we'll talk about tomorrow as well.
And we got
Sounds
our
fun.
man Hondo Carpenter coming on
Hondo,
tomorrow.
baby.
Oh, man. Vegas.
Looking forward to it.
Via East Lansing.
What's the latest with the coaching carousel in Las Vegas? Braylon?
Hey, man, you know what? Age ain't nothing but a number. LeBron James, 38 years old. 37 or 38. I think he's 37. 30, I was right the first time. 30, that's right, because I'll be 39 next month. 38 years old. The last 17 games, he's averaging 32 points, which is the most he's ever averaged in his career. He's averaging 9 and 8 along with that. I just wish that the other geriatrics on his team got the memo. I wish they got the memo that you're supposed to play better as you get older, not worse. Russell Westbrook. So age is nothing but a number. It is how you take care of yourself. It is how you treat life, and you will have an abundance of quality of set life. So with that, I leave you. I am Edwards. This is Ermanni. That's Sam, that's Alex, and that's the big guy on the couch, Uncle Maz, and that is the bottom line.
See ya! 39.
I don't know what I said, to be honest with you, and I'm glad they didn't flag me for spiking it a little bit there. All the guys on the sideline were like, man, you were in a dark place. And I said, sometimes you got to go to those places, and to make some plays happen. So I was enjoying the moment. In my mind, I live for those kind of moments. I would have loved to have been taking a knee up 3 scores. But it's a whole lot more fun when you got to make a play like that to win the game and just steal somebody's soul. That's what it feels like sometimes, where they're sitting there going, man, we just had this great comeback, and you get to reach in there and take it from them. That's a whole lot of fun.